So you've been thinking about it, right? Building that Amazon FBA business, that dream of passive income. But there's that nagging voice in your head asking, am I too late to the game? Well, today we're going to dig into the real numbers and the right strategies to find out if that ship has truly sailed. All right, let's just tackle this head on. This is the question. It's the one that stops so many people before they even start. You look at the marketplace, you hear how fierce the competition is, and you can't help but wonder if you've missed the boat. And you know what? It's a totally fair question. So let's break it down. In this right here is the whole conflict in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the problem. Over 10 million sellers with 4,000 new ones piling in literally every single day. Yikes. But on the other side, you've got this massive, mind-blowing opportunity, a $2.5 trillion market, where, get this, 60% of every sale comes from third-party sellers. People just like you. So what gives? That brings us perfectly to our first section, which we're calling a saturated gold mine. Yeah, it sounds like a total contradiction, but honestly, there's no better way to describe the Amazon marketplace as it stands today. Okay, so first, let's focus on the gold mine part. The single hardest part of any business is finding customers. Well, Amazon does that part for you. We are talking about an army of over 300 million Prime members around the world, while it's out, ready to buy. And they're showing up 2.4 billion times every single month. That is a built-in audience you just can't find anywhere else. And here's the kicker. It's not like this is a fixed pie that everyone's fighting over. The entire pie is getting bigger and bigger year after year. Just look at this growth. E-commerce sales are just exploding, set to hit over 800 billion. The demand isn't just sitting there, it's actually speeding up. Okay, so the opportunity is huge, and it's growing. But if it's so great, why does so many people feel like they're just hitting a brick wall? Well, it's because they're using an old playbook. The game has changed, and those old methods, they just don't work anymore. And real quick, just so we're all on the same page, when we say Amazon FBA, this is what we mean. Fulfillment by Amazon. It's the model where you send your products to their giant warehouses and they handle everything else. The picking, the packing, the shipping, all of it. This is the magic that makes the whole thing scalable and potentially passive. You have to understand the Amazon world has completely changed. I mean, 10 years ago, you could literally find a generic garlic press on Alibaba, slap a logo on it, and make a killing. There was almost no competition. Then, things like retail arbitrage and wholesale had their moment. But today, in 2026, trying that stuff is basically a one-way ticket to losing your money. To win now, you have to build a real brand with a real strategy. So let's be super clear. These methods are dead ends. Retail arbitrage, running around to stores to find discounted stuff to resell, it's a job, not a business. It's a hamster wheel. Wholesale is just a bloodbath, with everyone fighting over pennies. And that typical private label method, selling a generic Me Too product, forget it. You'll just get buried. Don't waste your time. So, if all the old ways are dead, what does actually winning look like? All right, enough theory. Let's get real and look at the actual, unfiltered numbers from one single product that is absolutely crushing it on Amazon right now. Let's start with the big, flashy number, the one that gets everyone's attention. One product, in a single year, generated $900,000 in revenue. That's pretty amazing. But as we all know, revenue is just vanity. And here comes the dose of reality. To make that 900 grand, it cost almost $500,000. That's for the products themselves, all the Amazon fees, everything. This is the slide that a lot of those online gurus conveniently forget to show you. So what's left when the dust settles? This is what's left. Over $400,000 in pure take-home profit from one product in 1 year. And here's the most insane part. The seller, on average, spends less than 4 hours a week managing this business. That is the power of a real, scalable system when you do it the right way. Let's just peek under the hood for a second. Here's the transparent breakdown. You can see what the products actually cost. Then you see Amazon's cut, that's the referral fee, and then the FBA fees for handling all that shipping. The fees are real, for sure, but they're part of a system that spits out a 44% profit margin. These are the real-world economics of a winner. So the big question is, how on earth do you get numbers like that? Well, I can tell you, it's not by using any of those outdated methods we just talked about. It's by using what we're calling the winning strategy for 2026 and beyond. At the very heart of this new strategy is one simple idea: niche branding. Now, this is not about finding a generic product and just putting a logo on it. This is about identifying a passionate community, a tribe, understanding their specific problems, and then creating a high-quality product just for them. So instead of just electrolytes, you make sugar-free electrolytes for people on the keto diet. You're not selling to everybody. You're the hero for somebody. And this quote says it all. This is your secret weapon. This is your moat. This is your defense against that sea of competition. Because when you are a part of that niche, you get it. You understand the culture, the language, the pain points. You understand the customer on a level that some factory overseas just never ever will. That deep, authentic knowledge, that is your unbeatable advantage. And then you pour gasoline on that fire with something called the flywheel method. It works like this. You get influencers on a platform like TikTok to talk about your awesome niche product. Their followers go to Amazon and buy it, which spikes your sales rank. Amazon's algorithm sees that and says, whoa, people love this, and starts showing it to more and more shoppers organically. Then those new customers start making their own TikToks about it, and the wheel just starts spinning faster and faster all by itself. All right, we've talked about the crowded market, the massive opportunity, why the old ways are broken, and what the new winning strategy actually looks like. So let's pull all these threads together and land this plane. What's the final verdict? Look, let's be totally honest here. The pros are huge. You get instant access to a massive customer base, you have a system built for passive income, and the whole market is only getting bigger. But the cons are just as real. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The easy, lazy methods are gone. You have to do the real work of building a brand, and you have to avoid analysis paralysis. You know, that trap of overthinking everything so much that you never actually do anything. So this is where we end up. The entire e-commerce market is on track to double in the next 10 years. The opportunity is not shrinking, it is exploding. So maybe, just maybe, the question we've been asking all along is wrong. Maybe the question isn't, is it too late? Maybe the real question you need to ask yourself is, am I ready to build a real brand for a real audience? Because if the answer to that is yes, then you're not too late. You are right on time.